The Sweet Baby Inc. curse continues, ladies and gentlemen. God of War Ragnarok is finally ported over to PC and it's not doing good. There's a couple outlets, including Smash JT and the Park Place, that are talking about this. And it's a big problem because God of War Ragnarok, which is literally a game that's only a couple years old, has less than half of the concurrent player base of God of War from 2018. That's an issue. And I think a lot of that's contributed to the stigma that Sweet Baby Inc. has. It was revealed that Sweet Baby Inc. actually worked on God of War Ragnarok. Whether you think it's a great game or not, that's besides the point. The point here is that a lot of gamers are starting to be like, nope, I'm noping away from that because they don't want to support anything that this consulting company touches. Unfortunately, they've touched stuff like Spider-Man 2, Ragnarok, the upcoming Wolverine game, which, sure, those games did success, but there's a lot of stuff that they've touched that's failed since then. And yeah, so God of War Ragnarok, the peak player count is less than half of God of War. That's not good considering it was a game that is like a first party PlayStation game. So you can see the previous God of War Ragnarok game had 73,529 at its peak at one point. And in the last 24 hours of this screenshot from the Park Place, they had 10,865, and there was 10,836 players at the moment. If you look right here, the peak of all time when it launched down there was 31,606. That's not good, considering for a brand new launch to not even match up or go past the amount of a game that was poured over. Back in 2022 was when the God of War PC port happened, by the way, which is less than 57%, actually more than 57% of that. So again, a lot of this is from the stigma of Sweet Baby Inc. being attached to this. The game was actually added to the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list from Cabrutus, which has over 400,000 followers on there. It was featured very prominently. But also on top of that, and this article, in all fairness, right here says that PlayStation's charging full price for this game, even though it was released a couple years ago. And on top of that, there's a requirement that you have to have a PlayStation Network account if you're playing this on Steam, which that didn't settle down with anybody when it was what was that game? What the hell was that game though? The fucking space game with the shooting and all that bull crap. I can't even think of what the fuck it's called at this moment. The regardless of which that backfired and people weren't too happy about it. Uh, Honestly, this PlayStation Network requirement caused a lot of backlash. So, continuing back on, let's look at Smash's article because he writes some good things. He's saying its performance on Steam has been less than stellar. While previous Sony first party exclusives have often enjoyed massive success, the numbers have been surprisingly underwhelming for good reason. And then again, he goes to say what I've said. The overall reviews are mixed. I believe they are getting review bombed at this time. You can see he says it's reached a concurrent player count of 35,565, far lesser than its predecessor and miles behind Ghost of Tsushima. And it's far deeper concerns the gaming community than just a smaller number, player base. It's because of Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement. So if you look over here, it talks about Sweet Baby Inc. It talks about how they're a consultancy firm. If you've been watching the channel, you're well aware of what they are and what they do. They race swap stuff. They, fix up plot development so that it's not as offensive to wokies, things of that nature. And you could see they definitely said right here, like on their page, like advertised front and center, that they worked on narrative and character consultation with a focus on representation. Why? I have no idea why they felt the need. Often at times, whenever these consulting companies come in, they kind of shoehorn a lot of their stuff to the point where it's almost shoved in your face. Nobody wants that. Gamers want fun in their games. And you can see right here, he says, Sweet Baby Inc.'s hand can be seen in various aspects of the game, from character interactions to shifts in the narrative. Some characters and story arcs feel shoehorned into the plot to meet diversity quotas, which that's exactly what it is, detracting from the authentic Norse mythology experience that the series had become known for. Taking the story in these directions has made some feel alienated, especially those who have followed the series since its origins. Which, in all fairness, David Jaffe, the guy that created God of War, is one of the biggest wokies on social media. Don't even try to interact with that guy. He's loose in the goose, if you know what I mean. Like, he's constantly damage controlling, spouting woke fucking takes. He's a mess. He's a mess. And he snoops everywhere. He's actually come to my channel a couple times when I've criticized him. So yeah, he says, continuing on, the article, Smash says, with Sweet Baby Inc. now under intense scrutiny, gamers have become wary of any project they're involved in, fearing that it will compromise the integrity of beloved franchises. The increasing backlash towards this consultancy firm is playing a significant role in why some players are hesitant to jump into God of War Ragnarok on PC. So yeah, he says right here, him and Hypnotic both say they have no intention of ever buying a game that's been touched by Sweet Baby Inc. I will say this, I have God of War Ragnarok on the PlayStation 5. I got it when it launched. Back in 2022, we weren't really hearing about Sweet Baby Inc. We weren't really hearing about all these consultancy firms, which that's really picked up within this year, like 2024. So I played it. But also, again, right here, talking about the PlayStation Network account requirement for a single player game at that is baffling. Now, you can see right here, somebody put a review saying not recommended. Why is this 100% single player experience forcing me to sign in with PSN? I understand some people are given the option to sign in, but for others, it's a requirement. When I launched the game, it says PSN account is required. So that was with divers. What was that? Space divers, or what the fuck is it called? I can't think. Hell divers. That caused a big commotion with that a while back. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok has 0 online features. Why do they keep insisting on putting that? You see, it says, many see this completely unnecessary gatekeeping for the sole purpose of tracking players. I believe when they did that with Helldivers, they were saying it makes it easier to mod and ban toxic gamers. So what exactly is toxic gamers? Again, we always know the real truth of that is if you're not playing nice in the echo chamber of wokeness, you will find yourself banned on everything, censored. That's the ultimate goal, is that it's to control a narrative. And I hope Sony's taking account and looking, and that they eventually stop trying to put this PSN requirement, which they've admitted is for moderation. Who knows what's going to go on with that. Now, he's also touching base in here that there's performance issues, and you can see that some people are saying that there's performance issues in these settings. It crashes the whole computer. That's not acceptable. That is actually not acceptable with a PC port. You see, people are saying Sweet Baby Inc. involved here, by the way, so you know what to expect. If you can, just pirate this game. I'm not condoning piracy officially, but they're saying they only found out after buying it, since they really wasn't really waiting for this release. Locking the max resolution to your desktop resolution is dumb. So it seems like there's a whole bunch of issues with this. And honestly, I don't think this is a good look for Sony's PC strategy plan. A game as big as God of War, I mean, like, this is one of their main franchises, crashing and burning like this. Just because the PSN requirement, but most importantly, like I said, because of Sweet Baby Inc. being involved, it's not good. A lot of companies are quickly discovering that having them touch your game at all is a stigma. There, in fact, just the other day we were talking about how one of them came out, this Japanese consultant that previously worked for Sweet Baby Inc., saying that developers are now hesitant to hire them solely because of the tainted, I guess, scent that you have from working there, because they're not good people, guys. They want to censor gamers. They hate male gamers. They don't like gamers in general. They want to try to control narrative. They want to inject DEI into everything. It's a lot bigger of a problem than a gaming journalist that's actually a political activist would lead you guys to be onto. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's just a right-wing grifter thing that they hate this stuff and they're worried about it and they're outraged. No, it's a lot of people that don't care about it. The casual consumer doesn't want this stuff infecting gaming either. That's why they don't show up. The modern audience that they're catering to does not show up, which is why Concord, Dustborn, God of War on PC, all of it is failing because people are learning more and more every day what these companies do. and how vile of human beings they are. So I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Comment if you like, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. As always, take care.